Well, I'm David Elder, and welcome to my studio. I'm here in Chickasha, Oklahoma, and I've been doing pottery for, wow, I can't remember how long. It was probably my mom who was drawing all the time growing up. You know, I'd see mom do all these little drawings and stuff, and from that, I started doing the same thing. With pottery, you need to be able to be persistent. You need to be able to not get discouraged, and it takes practice, practice, practice. You know, it's Soji Hamada, who is a tremendous treasure over in Japan. He stated, before you go from one pot to the next, I want you to make at least 100 of them, and let's take a look at how well you did those. And if you have completed them successfully, then you can move on to the next one. That's the way to go. There's quite a few different artists around the country in the pottery area. One who is amazing is Tom Coleman. He lives out in California, and him and his wife both are potters. They do amazing work, and I was very fortunate to have a workshop with him. And his work today is inspiring. In fact, today I just checking out his site on Facebook and then went to his own. Fantastic work, amazing. I love making it. I mean, it's fun every time I go to do it. You know, it was like when teaching, you know, for me, teaching at the college was like, wow, I get to do this and teach these young people and show them how to work on the potter's wheel. It was a blast. I never had a bad day doing that. It's one of the best things you could ever do. David Elder pot, you know, is nothing. It's all different. All the different types of pottery, you know, I can do anything from functional stoneware pottery to raku or salt glazing, any of these different processes. You know, I can do all of those different areas, but I do love doing the stoneware, dinnerware, because people get to use it. They get to touch it, they get to hold it, they get to love it. And I love doing decorative pieces for people, you know, with texture. And that's one of the things that I latched onto when I was in college, doing things from texture from nature, in fact, and had a lot of fun doing all that process. Well, with the glazing, there's several different ways of doing it, and there's the one that I rely on almost specifically, and that's dipping. Sometimes occasionally I pour the glazes, you know, with the coffee mugs, and sometimes, you know, just depends on the size of the piece, but it's usually dipping the piece in the glaze, and sometimes it's multiple glazes. Like, for example, with a pie plate, I can do 3 different dips and have it all divided into and overlapping and dipping. It looks really neat. So it looks like pie pieces in a pie plate. You know, I grew up in New York, upstate New York, not New York City, up in a, you know, kind of a rural area. And I had tremendous opportunities with school to go to New York City on numerous times. All the inspiration there in New York City, the Whitney and, you know, Guggenheim, just all those opportunities. Not everybody has that opportunity, and it's great. It isn't just me. Hector Cobos, a former student of mine from Panhandle State, he comes over and helps me fire the kiln nearly every time. Okay, a lot of times he brings his whole family over here, so if it gets too late, then I finish up and complete it. But Hector comes over and helps. And the kiln that you saw here today, part of that's Hector Cobos' pieces along with mine. Okay, so, you know, it's not just my work in there, it's Hector's also. And we've just hit it off together, and I think I kind of inspired him, you know, with the pottery, and I got him to go down to Paseo Pottery with Colin Rosebrook. And, you know, once he met Colin, you know, that was it, you know. And he worked there for quite a few years, and now he's building his own pottery studio. He's still in the process. So it's neat to have your student, you know, go and do things that you love too. Okay, this is David Elder again, and I want to say thank you for visiting my studio here today. We had a great time visiting. It was a lot of fun.